Steph has said that I think is something that definitely comes up when you watch this, is we are at the mercy of technology. It's almost like we have no immune system for this new disease that takes over your body and your mind, and we're beginning to understand, as Facebook destroys democracy, that there is a downside to this utopian vision of connectivity, because if you're connecting with your high school class, the Nazis are connecting too, you know, and we're able to, Russians can affect voter turnout in Milwaukee, Wisconsin because of this thing. And we have to get to a place where we are exerting a little humanity on the technology, I think.
Do you think we are getting to that place? As a person who was really one of the founders of social media and one of the pioneers of social media, do you think we are reaching a point where normal people are starting to pull back a little bit?
Yeah, and what's actually surprising for me is that the next younger generation that seem to be addicted to the internet, I'm increasingly seeing some of them unplug, some of them getting tired. And, you know, at high school level, my younger nephew in the UK, not interested in constantly curating his Instagram profile.
They have a better take on it too, even if they are interested in it. There's I think the younger generation has a much less literal take on it than the generation above me who got on Facebook a few years ago. I go home and watch my mom on Facebook. I'm like, no, that's not real. Stop believing this.
Yeah, I actually think that the addiction is more in my generation that helped build this thing, and we're all trying to adjust our lives to it, and because we need to use it for our careers and figuring out all the leverage points for it, as opposed to simply growing up and taking it for granted. And I think it's also that for that same reason that next generation looking up at us going, this is sort of deforming my dad's life and deforming you guys.
I get a lot of that.
Well, I mean, so those are the kids, by the way, that are the ones reinventing the internet as we speak. This whole blockchain movement and cryptocurrency bubble from last year, guess who was building that out? It wasn't my generation of entrepreneurs. We're the old guys now. It was actually the next generation that are in their 20s, early 20s, have nothing to lose, have seen what's happened to democracy now, can see what Facebook has become, the wasteland that it is. And they're the ones saying, you know what? I want to take control of my identity back. I want to take control of my money back. I want to take control of information and facts back. How do we do that so we take that power back away from the Facebooks, the Googles, the Amazons, the government, and take it a little bit back into our own control? And so they're the ones reinventing the blockchain. And this is the blockchain. This is the thing, by the way, right now, most people go, okay, I've heard of blockchain. What exactly is it? What is it doing for us? That's the same reaction I had when I was pitching the globe. What's the globe? Well, there's this thing called the internet. Okay, what's the internet? I've heard of it, but what does it do? Like, we're back in 1994 right now with this new Web 3.0. So we're chuckling and laughing right now, and I can barely get my own head around what it's going to do for us all. But again, 10 to 20 years from now, we're going to look back here, and everything that we know of the internet is going to look quaint. So I feel like now more than ever, it's important and if we want to make sure that it's built correctly, we need people to be aware of their history. If they don't look back and see how we started and how it got warped, we're going to just repeat the same thing. So the course corrections are working correctly, and I feel like this show is the first time it's helping an entire new generation go, okay, how did we get started? How did we get here? Where do we go?